Hi, everybody. It's we're getting close to Christmas. It's almost Christmas Eve, which will be Friday this week. It's Tuesday today, and I'm going to be focusing on some Christmas passages here as we get closer to Christmas. And this first one is from Luke 1:30 through 31, and it's, "Do not be afraid, Mary. You have found favor with God. You will conceive and give birth to a son, and you are to call his name Jesus." Well, you know, sometimes I think we sort of forget about how hard this was for the people that it first happened to, and specifically Mary, and how what it must have been like for. She couldn't have been more than 14 or 15 years old, and she's betrothed to be married, but she's not married yet, and now she's pregnant. And that's maybe not such a huge deal today, but it was a huge deal then. And so she's not only pregnant, so now she's got to deal with her fiance, who knows that it can't be his baby as she's getting pregnant. And then, try and come up to him and say, well, actually, it's God who made me pregnant. I mean, who would believe that? Or anybody else? And, of course, Joseph's going to believe it because an angel came to him and told him so. But how hard it was for her during this time. And, that's true for almost everybody in the Bible. It's hard when God comes to us and tells us that something's going to happen. God told me I was going to be a pastor, and that has not been an easy route. It's been a great route and full of blessings, but never would I describe it as an easy job, because it wasn't. And then you think about the other side of that is all the miraculous thing God does. Like he told Zechariah that his mother was going to have, or his wife was going to have a baby in her old age. I mean, that seemed impossible, and yet it happened. I think about, who else in their old age? Oh, well, Abraham and Sarah were told they were going to have a baby, and they're like in their 90s. And that's impossible, and yet it happened. And, it kind of goes along with the passage, what is impossible with us is not impossible with God. But, what was Mary's response finally? It was, "Here I am, the servant of the Lord. Let it be with me according to your word." Wow, that's an amazing statement. Here I am, let it be as you want it to be. I'll just be a vessel of whatever you need. Paul would later pray that Christ would be formed in us. So in a sense, Mary, Jesus is literally being formed in her womb. But also Paul says that Christ is going to be formed in us. So what does it take for Christ to be formed in us? Well, first of all, baptism is where that starts. But it is Mary who actually had Christ being formed in her. But the response is not all that different. Our response should not be all that different from Mary's response, which was, "Lord, I know you're in me because of Christ, because of my baptism. You promised you'd be there, so you are there. And so let it be as you wish it to be, according to your word." So in other words, as Christians with Christ in us, we really can respond just the way Mary did. Let it be according to your word. Do in me what you want done in me. And so our response can be the same as Mary's as Christ grows in ourselves, maybe not in our uterus, but definitely in our lives. And, here I am, the servant of the Lord. Let it be with me according to your word. We might say, like Mary's response was, well, how can this be? How is this possible? How is it possible that Christ lives with me? Well, the answer to Mary was, it's the Holy Spirit will come upon you. It's true for us too. When we say, how can it be that Christ lives in me? Well, the Holy Spirit has come upon us and has dwelled with us. And also, I just want to remind you all that you take a piece of Christ into you whenever you have the Lord's Supper, that we believe that that is the body and blood of Christ, and it becomes a part of us as well. So just like Mary, you're not so different. Christ is in you. Your response can be, how is that possible? How can this be? But also it's good if your response is like Mary's, in that you say, here I am, the servant of the Lord. Let it be with me and in me according to your word. Have a great day and a blessed Christmas.